If you have moonshining delusions of grandeur, will City of Gangsters fill Pimm's cup with deep logistical management, faction warfare, relationship administration, and more? Or will you find yourself endlessly clicking the same loop as you try to find just 10 more ceramics to fill with bathtub gin? Watch on and find out. My name is Thoraxe, and this is Strategy for Busy People. If you've got a few minutes, I'll tell you what to play. Today we're looking at City of Gangsters by SomaSim Games. City of Gangsters captured me like no game has in a while. I've got almost 44 hours in this game. It's not since Death Stranding. Check out my review, since I've gotten so deep into a game. But when I plunge nearly an entire work week into a title, you know I'm probably going to have great things to say. Or I got drunk, passed out, and left the game running overnight. But this isn't the case with City of Gangsters. Now, to be clear, this is City of Gangsters, and is absolutely not Omerta, City of Gangsters. They are definitely two different games. And next week, I'll have a review for you of Omerta. But that's a good thing, because this game is awesome. Taking place during the Prohibition, City of Gangsters sees you heading up a small-time faction with dreams of making it big. It's hard to decide where to begin to review this game, because there are just so many things in it. Fundamentally, the game centers around managing corners of blocks in the city, and there are several cities you can choose to play in. This is a turn-based strategy game where each of your gang members has a limited number of action points and movement points that they can use each turn to get around the city. The game begins around the beginning of Prohibition and technically ends when Prohibition ends, although you can continue to play more turns after that. The nationality of your character determines your starting point in the city, and nationality can play a key strategic element in the game, as people of the same or differing nationalities may choose to treat you better or worse depending on the situation. You build a true supply chain of booze and other items, having to manage the purchase, production, and distribution from your controlled backroom businesses to various shops throughout the city. But you can't just expect to knock on anyone's door and sell to them. No, there's an entire subsystem of relationship management that is a key part of the game. You have to build confidence and rapport with the folks in your neighborhood. After all, dealing in alcoholic beverages or their accoutrement is illegal, and the cops will come get you. That is, unless you pay them off. That's right, managing your relationship with local law enforcement is just as important as managing your relationship with the local customer base. Having the coppers on your side can be good too, because sometimes you can use them to cause problems for rival factions. There are quite a lot of small-time hustlers floating around the city, and you can deal with them in several different ways. You can fight them and kill them, but they're the brothers, sisters, or relatives of folks in your city. Killing Jonagy Strategycowski might make Susie Strategycowski really upset since she's his sister and all. And then she won't buy your backroom beer or sell you key supplies, or she's an important business on an important street corner. Remember, relationships are everything. Sometimes you can call in favors from people you've had good dealings with to improve the relationship you have with others. In certain cases, you explore a vast network of interpersonal relationships, having to call in favors across several contacts just to get that one person to deal with you that you really need. The depth of this game is really quite amazing. As you buy, sell, steal, and fight your way around the city, you'll encounter bigger outfits that can be much harder to deal with. You can take out the leader, but someone else in the gang will just step into their place. And that brings up yet another key aspect of the game, managing your gang. As you navigate the city, you'll uncover opportunities to hire other people into your crew. Those people can be goons or thugs that you use to extort businesses for collection money, or they can be delivery drivers running automated routes and making friends and valuable contacts along the way. Managing your real estate portfolio, if you will, is how you build new backroom businesses to expand your supply operations. Will you try to manage the entire supply chain for something like beer, from malting your own barley all the way through bottling? Or will you buy most of your supplies from local businesses and act more like an assembly shop? You can run gambling dens. You get missions from various contacts who give you important skills that are used for expanding or improving your operations. You can go to parties or poker nights to get introduced to key players in the city. As you progress, you unlock higher quality booze that you can sell at higher quality establishments. This game just has so much to offer and has so much depth, it's uncanny. I'm barely doing justice to it in this review. I really have very few negative things to say about this game. If I had to nitpick, occasionally the management of your automated supply routes can become a pain. The early game is slow because you have to manage every single click. Sometimes you perform an action and you really wish there was an undo because it was an accidental click. And ultimately, the worst thing about the game is that the developers aren't updating it anymore, and it's not clear if there'll be a part 2 or not. Before I give my final verdict, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to share with your friends. Agree with me, disagree with me, or want to see other content? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to support me in making more of these videos, become a patron on Patreon. Your support really makes a difference. The final verdict. Overall, this game is so deep and so good and so amazing that I really found it hard to put down. I found myself trying to play a few turns anytime I had 15 minutes to spare. While the game is mostly a lot of same actions over and over, I always found myself happy to do it because I knew it was in the pursuit of opening that new business, grabbing that new corner, or making that new friend. On my trademarked 3-point score scale of avoid, meh, and I forgot to eat, I'm not sure if I'm drunk or just delirious from lack of sleep. I don't know whether my real job is computer stuff or running counterfeit wine. I can't remember if I'm supposed to bribe police officers or not, but I think you do that in the game and not in real life? Or do I have that backward? Maybe just 100 more turns. This game rocks.